Hello, everybody. I think that we are streaming. I think there's something going on with my Twitter. I am so sorry for being late, but we had technical difficulties. But I'm glad that you're able to see me and hear me. Oh, you know what? I don't have my headset on. Oh, guys, I'm sorry, but just 1 second. Sorry. Well, it might be better that I don't have my headset because I'm playing my music. So that way you guys can hear it. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get up, but yeah, let's leave this as is. So this way you guys can hear the music a little bit. So anyway, hello loves, welcome to Empower TV with Crystal Rain. Again, I do apologize for being late. I am so sorry. And this is the Zaya bra top of the evening, which is the leopard strappy. Yes. So I hope everyone is having a fabulous night. I hope you have, because you know this is when it's late night chat with Crystal Rain. It's also cocktail hour. So our cocktail of the evening tonight is a Pinot. So last night we had a, what was it? I think it was a Cabernet. So tonight we have a Pinot Grigio, one of my favorite glasses. And thank you for joining me if you're still joining me. Again, I do apologize for being late. Somehow my internet was disconnected. And I don't even know what happened. So let's make sure we're streaming here. Let me see here. Am I streaming? I don't know. I don't think so. Let's make sure we're streaming. We are. Hello, loves. We're going to wait to make sure we have some people. Let me turn that down. Make sure we have some people join us. I'm going to have to let everybody know that I'm now live. So sorry. I had to restart everything and get everything going. Many apologies. So let me see here. Can I share? We want to share. Oh, hello. Thank you. We want to share, so we're going to let everybody know we're live before we get this conversation about relationships started. We got the music going on in the background. Hopefully you're able to hear me well. So let's turn that off because we don't want any other noise. Ooh, when you're just getting started. And all these technical difficulties. You know, peace, love, and many blessings. I wonder how everyone evening is going. See if we can get some people on here, some more people. Let's see, who can we get? Let's see. So as we stated, we're talking about relationships tonight. Let's see, can I copy this? So I hope everyone is having a fabulous evening. So I want to copy this link and send it to some people. Let's see who else we can get. See if we can get some people on here. So today was very interesting. You know, whenever I think I'm going to get a chill day, I never do. You know, let's see if we can get some other people on here. Let's talk relationships. I know I was late. People are probably like, where's she at? Oopsies. But anyway, you got me for the next hour. Okay? So we're just enjoying ourselves, listening to the music. So we're going to get into some chatting about relationships, and then we're going to have a little reading session too. It's maybe kind of like a romance novel. It kind of maybe fits our genre tonight. I haven't read it, so I don't know. Anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying me, letting everybody know that I'm live right now. People are probably like, we're going to bed, but this is late chat, okay? Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy it. Peace, love, and many blessings. So what else? Let's see if we can get some viewers on here, some people chatting. Oh, we got 2 people too. Okay, awesome. See who else we can get. Let's see if we can get some other people on here. And I'm just gonna put this on my Facebook live now on my main page. Okay, so we're talking about relationships, and the first one we're going to talk about is being single. And we know that could be stressful and trying at times. Me, baby. Oh, let's drop this link. Paste. Okay, so we just dropped that so we can get some more people on here viewing. Okay, so relationships. Say something in the chat if you're in a relationship, if you're not in a relationship. I want to know what we got going on before we get into this conversation. And don't forget to share with me. Do not forget to share with me what your late night cocktail is, okay? As you know, when we do the late night chat, it's cocktail hour. And when I do my little quickie morning chats, it's the Morning Cup of Joe with Crystal Rain. So I am drinking a Pinot. Drop in the chat what you're drinking, of course. And oh no, I forgot, this isn't a Pinot. I picked up something different. I'm trying something different. It's a Chablis. So sorry, I totally forgot. I usually do pick up a Pinot Grigio, but actually this is a Chablis. Awesome. I'm enjoying it. It's a little sweeter, but it's cool. So if you are single or in a relationship, drop it in the chat. We want to know, okay? So my Twitch TV is a little different than when I do Empowered TV on YouTube or Facebook Live. It's more like a grown folk hour, different type of vibe. Follow. We're talking relationships tonight and getting it in. So if you're single or if you're in a relationship, drop it in the chat. But let's first talk about being single. Now, let's talk about being single during lockdown. So that was me. I was single during lockdown. And let me tell you, I do not want to go through that ever again. And that is the opinion of many. They do not want to go through that mess ever again. Unfortunately, with the numbers rising, we just may, right? So I'm hoping that we do not have to go through that again, especially not single. Girlfriend's not out here being thirsty, but it'd be easier, I think, to have somebody. I'm not sure if there's anybody else on here who was single during COVID, and just what that was like. It was almost like you were disconnected. The only way to reach out to people was like via Facebook, via lives, and it was sad. I got a lot done. I got some things accomplished, which I'm grateful for. I still have some things that I'm finishing, but that is something I never want to go through again. And if you share the same sentiment, please drop it in the chat. But on the alternate note, friends who, they weren't single during that time period, they were like, oh, it's not so cracked up to be with boo or with bae. They won't keep their hands off of me. And I'm looking like, how is that a problem? How is boo or bae not keeping their hands off of you a problem? I mean, the only thing you probably have to worry about is, a lockdown pregnancy. But how is that a problem? Boo or bae not being able to keep their hands off of you? That's not a problem. That's a situation. That's a wonderful morning, a wonderful afternoon, a wonderful evening, however you were getting it in, that was probably most likely amazing. Okay? So, but I guess you get tired. So do you ever get tired of your partner? And you know what? When I was in a relationship, well, first of all, I say when I was seeing somebody, yeah, it could get tiresome. Especially because I couldn't find alone time. And I guess that's what they were talking about. Being able to find that alone time, those moments. And sorry, because I was running late and having to deal with these technical difficulties. I don't have the Halloween decorations up for you guys. I know. But tomorrow, it's going to be on point. I had to restart the computer, get everything reconfigured. Jesus. Woo! Don't you hate technical difficulties? I know I do. So, yes, that's where we're at. So, let's talk about some other relationships and things. Let's see, what else can we talk about? It's about some other relationships. Let's going to see if anybody else joins in on the chat, and you can drop a little notes. Follow me on YouTube. Follow me on, or subscribe to YouTube. Follow me on Twitch. You can follow follow me on Facebook. I have pretty much all that information up there for you guys. So what else? Let's talk about other type of relationships. We're going to get that in a minute. Okay? We're going to wait for some other people to join. So right now we're just enjoying ourselves, having our lovely happy hour late night with a little Chablis. Ooh, I love this song. Hopefully you guys can hear it. If you can hear the music, let me know. So on my Twitch, I just want to basically have fun, talk about some real things, like relationships, talk about other things. What else? Also, just showing me. Let me see here. What if I hit multi-stream? Hola, 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 hola. Okay, so let's talk about the opposite of single. So let's talk about the people who are in a relationship. And, a lot of times what I hear is that it's not so cracked up, what it's so cracked up to be. I also hear that, people, when they get that itch. But, on the outside looking in, it looks pretty amazing. I mean, you look at having to do everything on your own. Like literally everything, having to do everything on your own. And when you look at other people who are in a relationship, and it just looks like fun, but I know it's work. That's another thing I hear, is that it's work. It's work to keep it going. I look at friends and their relationships, and I just go, oh, I'm glad I'm single. And then I also go, oh, I wish I wasn't single, because there are those moments where, it's like maybe time to take a trip or to do different things. And, it's great to have somebody to do those things with. I think when I look at it, no, I'm not the only one who's single. I'm not the only one who's single out of my friends. And what is this? Oh, people are still laughing at something I posted on Facebook. I should view it, but I don't know about, I guess I could show it right now. But we're not going to do that because I didn't set that up. So that's what I want. Someone that, how deep is your love for me? Love needs to run deep. A lot of people don't think about that or talk about that, but how deep it has to run in order to get it to work. You have to be like head over heels. And if you're not head over heels, what fuels the fire? Oh, that's something good. If you're not head over heels in a relationship, what fuels the fire? What keeps it going? What makes it amazing? So I want these questions answered in the chat. And do not forget to follow me on Twitch. Uh-oh. We got a little bay going on. Okay, so let's talk about some other relationships. And a lot of times let's talk about married people. So married people, people always think like married people look unhappy. And the saying is, when it comes to same-sex relationships, that let them marry so they can be just as unhappy, as the married people are. But again, it doesn't look unhappy. How can it be unhappy? How? Well, I guess if you're married for the wrong reasons, or if the sex isn't good, or it just isn't popping. It could just not pop. And I can't see my chat box. It's so small. Oh, hey, how are you? Thank you. That's my K-licious friend. Thank you. Hi, how you doing tonight, Queen? So it's don't forget to follow. So, when I look at people and I look at all the relationships struggling, can you hear the music? Answer if you can hear the music. So I purposely left my headset off so see if people could hear the music. I may have to move it closer, but we're not going to do that tonight. Oh, yes? Okay, cool. So, yeah, so, I look at married people like this. A part of me is marriage, maybe. And then another part of me is marriage. Oh, let me back it up. I'm sorry I have to say that because several reasons. It's I have married people that I know that, they need to talk to their spouse or get permission to go out, and they don't look at it as getting permission. I know they don't look at it as getting permission, but I kind of feel like you should be able to trust that person to go out with their friends without saying anything, to, just kind of do as they please. I feel like this, if you're grown, it's weird. What's weird? I feel like if you're grown, you know what to do. You know how to come home. I shouldn't have to chase after you. I shouldn't have to hunt you down. I shouldn't have to blow your phone up. You should know how to be a man or a woman and pick that sucker up. And if you don't pick it up, I'm not going to stress about it. And if I don't pick up my phone, you're not going to stress about it. No. No, no, no. You should have to get permission as an adult, or you shouldn't. Should not. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. Should be able to go and do as you please. Now let's talk about another type of relationship, because marriage can be looked at like a godsend. Some people think that if you get married, your finances are better. And I'm like, I don't know about that, because the person I was with, we weren't married or anything. But let me tell you, they knew how to spend. And then they would blame their spending on me. I'm like, I didn't tell you to spend any money. We sat down and discussed all this out. You weren't supposed to do this, that, or the other. But you as a grown person, I'm not about to control your money. I'm not about to tell you what you can and can't do. Come on. Why would you do that? See, no. If you want your tattoo, you should go ahead and get it. That's what I'm talking about right there. Because when I was selling cosmetics brand, let me tell you, somebody said, she goes, wait a minute, I have to check with my husband to see if this is something he wants me to get. I'm sorry. And I had to ask him, do you have your own job? Do you pay your own bills? And I was just like, oh, okay. But you need to check with him to see if you can get this lip gloss. Did he meet you wearing some lip gloss? No, queens, my queens. And then my fellas, if the lady's like, look, don't stop playing basketball, stop doing this, you may have to check that situation, because you may end up with a wife number 2. That's one thing when I look at my married uncles and aunts and cousins, that's something that they just seem to kind of have down. I see my cousin talking about something. I'm about to go out play golf. She ain't stressing him. She know where he going. They don't seem to be stressed or worried about that. But it's different in this younger generation, these younger times. It's way different. And I'm like, nah, we're not about to go through that. Now let's talk about our same-sex relationships. You know, those are quite interesting because I went through a little something. Hopefully this person's not watching because I put on, you know, but I'm quite sure they don't have Twitch. So I went through a little something, okay? And well, first of all, it was I don't know, I guess I'll say it was made up, but not made up on my part, but made up on someone else's part. And they, you know, I can see where they would be controlling and like, oh, I can speak at certain times or I couldn't, you know, it's like they had to be the boss. It's like, yeah, but I don't work for you. You may be the boss in wherever you're at, but I don't work for you. I don't have to, I guess, know my place. It almost kind of had that feeling to it where I had to know my place. And you know what? And I can accept that. And I'm kind of taking that role right now, but it's for my benefit. I'm going to know my place, stay out to business, and you go work with what you're working with. And I'm going to keep my peace. And I'm not going to worry about a damn thing. Okay? But let's also get into this. Let's talk about people who make up relationships in their head. Come on, people who make up relationships in your head, and you know who these people are. You know it. Hey, I've had it happen to me. And I mean, talk and everything. How do you make up a relationship in your head without speaking to a person? Crazy or not crazy? I need to know. Do you think that's crazy or not crazy? How do you make up a relationship in your head? Oh, here, I can see it here. You know, because of me, I kind of like to be talked to. And then, you know, when you have your business spread out like that, it's just not cool. It really isn't. So we talking about all types of relationships. All types of relationships, y'all. And that one right there takes the cake. Because I used to have a friend that I knew in college and after college. We kind of grew apart. And that's what she would do. She would make up these relationships in her head. And I'd just be like, and I finally had to realize that it wasn't real. Like, she would make up a whole relationship like she was dating somebody just because they were nice to them. And this is another, I also know about another situation. Someone warned me about somebody and said, look, you can't be too nice to that person because they'll think you like them. So again, they're doing what? They're making it up in their head. So what do you do as a person? So, you know, I've been having arguments. I'm not even in a relationship with you. What am I having an argument with you for? Why are you mad at me? And then get mad. Can you tell me why they get mad? You looking like we're not in a relationship. Why are you mad? Get mad at what you do, what you say, how you say it, how you coming across. Again, wanting you to know your place. And that's another weird thing, because if it's like, we're not in a relationship, why do you want me to know my place? Like I said, I'm going to play the role. I'm going to play it. But for my benefit. I'm going to play the role. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to play it. And I suggest anyone else to do the same thing for your benefit, though, and know that you're playing a role. Don't let them in on that you're playing the role, but you just be easy peasy. Go about it. Do what they say. Don't chime in on anything. You know, so let's also talk about this. Okay, so I have a friend, and then we're going to get into our little reading session for a little bit. So I have another friend that posted something up, and I was just watching to see what was going to go down at the table. So hopefully she's not watching either. So I'm not on. That's why this conversation is on Twitch. So like I said, Twitch is going to be a whole nother different platform for me where we're doing grown folk is sexy. We're going to be talking relationships. We're going to be talking still Black Lives Matter, but, you know, on a different type of note. Hey, hello, Flamingo. How you doing? Don't forget to follow. It's man or woman. The person who had the fake relationship? Oh, how you gonna call me out? What? Oh, Flamingo getting real. Was it a man or a woman that had the fake relationship? Why you gotta call me out? Oh, Flamingo, should I answer? Queen, should I answer? You already know. He laughing. It was the woman that had the fake relationship. You got it. Yes, it was a woman. I'm gonna put it that way. I mean, flirting eyes, and that person would get aggressive. They would get aggressive. You already know, Queen, but that person would get aggressive as heck, okay? We would be out. Well, not like out, but like we would have to be a part of some of the same things. And it was a little aggressive. And I'm just like, okay. And then when I checked some other things out, I was like, I took a step back because some stuff didn't look right. You go to somebody's Facebook, you find out everything. So it was weird. It was a very weird situation for me because I wasn't sure they were trying to find out information, what I was about. I don't like that. There's a quote, and it is very much like me. Those little games on Facebook? There's these little games on Facebook that you can play, and one of them was like your bitch quote. And you can check with Queen on the page here. I do have some bitch quotes. Yes, I do. And one of the bitch quotes sounds very much like what's on my Facebook page, which is, don't study me because you won't graduate. I don't like people studying me. I don't like people trying to find out. You can always tell, because they be asking you all the weird questions. Just off stuff. I had this recently happen at work. This dude, let me tell you, this dude was like, oh, so what you doing? They got you doing this. And I was just like, oh, it's abuse. Because when they start giving you a little ups and start giving you little too much attention. Know how that go for a female when you start getting too much attention. So, but I just play my role. I go in and do what I do and be easy peasy greasy. It's what it is. But anyway, so when people ask, just too many questions. So, so I don't know what it was about because it was real. It was real. And it was real, flirting and real. It was some real stuff, let me tell you, and really off. And then it would have to stop abruptly. So I don't know how they got cut off, but they got cut off. And by who, I don't know. So it's all good. Like I said, I'm going to play my role, say easy peasy, and not be too helpful, is what I'll say. But anyway, what we're allowed to talk about, let me tell you this. So I had a friend post something up, and I was just watching because I wanted to see what went down at the table, y'all. Let me tell you. So let's talk. I'm not sure if I could say this word, but I'm not sure if anybody saw the new Spike Lee movie that was on Netflix. It was a few months ago. I know y'all saw that movie because I saw it. I wasn't expecting all that. But we know how Spike probably get down sometimes. But it was the one about the man whose ex wanted to father the child of her and her lesbian lover. So when I was trying to type this word, it wouldn't let me type it. So I don't know if I can even say it on here. I have to find out. Anyway, y'all know what we're talking about. Couples getting an extra partner or couples having, girlfriends, boyfriends. And so my friend, she posted something up about her kid. He's a grown man, grown situation, him and baby mama. And they were out to dinner. And what he was doing, I'm not sure if this was an introduction. I have no idea, but I was just watching. So he was introducing baby mama to the girlfriend because he wants them all to be family. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what we talking about. He wants them to all, be family and all get along. You know what we talking about. And so I wasn't quite sure. Deal breaker. She said no. So I just wanted to see what would happen because it's supposed to be an introduction, I guess. So they were talking and it was different type of things, and she was saying all types of stuff, and I chimed in on the conversation. I was just like, well, what's the interest? Because the girl was kind of young, the girlfriend was kind of young, and so I was like, what's the interest? And to me it doesn't work, but for some it possibly works, but to me there's going to be always someone that's going to get left out, and that's what I chimed in. I said, to me this type of relationship doesn't work because someone always feels left out. Whenever you would see this on talk shows, someone always felt left out. You got wife number one, wife number two, when it comes to the Mormon things, because then when the two who are actually married or actually the couple who actually have a child that ties them together go off to do things, and then that one other little person who doesn't have anybody else, they're left to their lonesome, because a couple is going to want to have that alone time. They're not going to always want to be around the other person. It's like, hey babe, let's just be me and you tonight. That's going to happen. And so what's the other person supposed to do? Just be chill somewhere? To me, the only way that works is if that person has another person too, so they can go chill with. That's the only way it's going to work, to me. So I was watching at the table, and she was saying all types of dysfunction. And then she starts to defend it because she was like, she's had those type of relationships and that they have worked. It's like, so why are you calling it dysfunctional? You know how people are. They got to defend. I understand that's her kid. So, but I wished them many blessings because I was like, I don't think I find anybody that would understand. Especially a man, maybe that make a man happy. So if you're a man, would that make you happy? You had two to choose between. That's what I would want to know, because that's what most men say, that they are not meant to be monogamous, that they are meant to roam, not be monogamous, that they're meant to roam and have multiple partners. But to me, like, what does that mean? So do you just have two partners to choose between? And some people seem to, it seems to be all right for the time being until something goes wrong, until someone feels left out, until someone's not included, until, hey, they go off and have relations with the other partner by themselves without you. So then what? Then if somebody wants to be mad, no, you can't be mad. You can't be mad about it. There has to be those rules and deals when it comes to something like that. So now we have our little break. We're going to come to our reading session of the evening, and we're going to get into, I'm going to make sure when we do our relationship talks, we have actual romance novels. But like I said, I was running late. I had to do a couple of things. And then, what is this playing? Okay, we just gonna let it play right now, because I must have downloaded. Well, we're gonna make sure we get the track right too. We're gonna let that play for right now because it's way over there. I just realized that my whole soundtrack changed. So this book is called, and then we're gonna get back to the conversation, Orchids and Stone. Orchids and Stones. Let's get to this read real quick. So Daphne didn't quit college to become a roofer. When the first day of spring break became the night her father killed himself in a hotel room, she drove his car the 2+ hours back to the university the next morning. Gathering her clothes, photos, and a shoebox of desk items, she abandoned her textbooks and extra school supplies in the quad atrium, free to any takers. College was supposed to be more than an escape from her half-empty bedroom and stymied parents, but she left Western Washington University thinking she'd always been a poster there, never a good fit with dorm life, finishing part of a semester more than her dead big sister counted. Like all half measures for nothing. No solace waited at home. For the first time since she was 11, her father wouldn't be there in the evening burning. No restive 3-word chant or even his less common complaint. Nobody makes an effort would burst from him after the hours. Whiled away, and he slumped up the stairs. Quiet and comfort were not the same thing. In the wake of her impulse to drop out of school, she dreaded surreal days and evenings to be passed at home. Her trembling mother offered no answers. Haunted since childhood about the things she never found and the things she never said, Daphne drove slower as the miles brought her near home, and she took an earlier exit into Seattle, wondering what her mother knew and should have known. Daphne told herself she was a rotten daughter for not returning home without delay. Dang, rotten for just not returning home? She idled the car in the far lane, honked at by drivers with deadlines. A roadside placard in front of bulldozed black dirt announced, "Openings, training available. Ask about our Women in Construction program." Daphne parked her father's sedan among the pickup trucks and SUVs beyond the sign "Construction." Bustled on numerous six-plex apartments, some building exteriors appeared finished, and others bore open-framed walls. Concrete slabs ghosted the footprint of apartments to come. New building skeletons took hammer blows as men raised sheets of siding to the exteriors. That almost sounds kind of sexy if you picture it. Men in hard hats, leather work gloves, flannel shirts, and brown Carhartts or heavy blue jeans moved with burly purpose. Suspenders burdened their shoulders with the weight of enormous tool belts. These men drove beeping forklifts, packing stacks of lumber. They spread blueprints on truck hoods, shot nails with power guns, and pointed at other men, tools, pallets, and buildings. They gave and received orders and shouts. "You lost." The man in front of her wore boots, jeans, and a sneer. You You have job open? She winced at her childish stammer, awash in the feeling of being half adult. She told her best friend Thea about this sensation upon Thea's graduation the previous spring, but Thea, with 1 year on Daphne and all about getting a job with her new journalism degree in order to move permanently out of her parents' house, pretended not to understand how matriculation to adulthood loomed as daunting milestone for Daphne. I mean, the sign says, Daphne ended with a wave at the driveway placard. The construction worker in front of her snorted. Yeah, you'll last an hour. His next comment came with a giant wad of spit while he muttered to the ground about her balls. Then he pointed toward a white trailer. Check in at the ATCO. What's an ATCO? Daphne wanted to ask. At the trailer, she accepted a form to fill out, checking the non-block next to the words, experience level. You'll last an hour. The words hung over her. Outside, a guy named Bob handed her a hammer after a guy named Dick welcomed her and listened to the foreman, who would let her know after a full day tomorrow if she was hired. Foreman? Daphne puzzled as they handed her a scrapboard, a handful of nails, and told her to drive them. Seriously? Bob nodded. Dick went back into the ATCO. Is Bob the foreman? You'll last an hour. Daphne caught her tongue between her teeth and drove the first nail, keyed with self-consciousness. She couldn't remember hammering anything before but pretended competence, with a starting tap before pounding the nail home with mean, targeted blows. Good eye, but you don't want to chew up the wood too much, Bob said. She drove more nails, stopping when the heads nestled the plank. Ooh, ouch. Okay, I need you to load a roof. Load a roof? Daphne repeated, not understanding but happy for any comment, not taunting her about how long she'd last. Yep, can you carry these up? He pointed to a pallet laden with packages of shingles, thumbed open a pocket knife, and sliced the plastic binders securing the packages. Daphne pulled one long bundle of shingles from the top. It weighed perhaps 35 or 40 pounds. Healthy college girls could lift 40 pounds, but they usually didn't. They didn't heft sharp-edged packages of shingles onto one shoulder and climb a ladder. They didn't repeat the chore a dozen times in an hour. They didn't labor hours on end. Whew, that's about right. Yeah, we don't. You'll last an hour. She lasted, shaking, bringing bundles up the ladder with her jaw set, then screaming muscles engaged over and over, ignoring the physical pain. And I know that physical pain. There was an upside climbing a ladder at a construction site. Felt fun and naughty. Aloft after the challenge of walking the bare slanted roof to the peak, she saw a particular way to stack shingle bundles. Daphne worked with vicious determination, surviving each minute, proving the first man wrong. Extreme work beat, driving a few more miles to her sisterless, fatherless childhood home. Bob honked a truck horn mid-afternoon, and all the men stopped working for 15 minutes, gathering at his truck's tailgate to take water from a yellow cooler. Daphne kept working in a dreamy daze, hauling shingles up the ladder, stacking them near the apartment's ridge. She toiled through lunchtime and the afternoon break as well. So, okay, that was just our little quick read, and then we'll continue to read this and see where it takes us at different times. But I want to know, is there anybody in a relationship? Are you in a relationship? Are you single? You know, what's the dealio? So, and if you have any comments, like, okay, so, for instance, let's talk. Okay, so, let's talk one night stands. So, you know, I think single people shouldn't be judged based on, you know, certain things. So, like, I haven't had any. You know, let's say, you know, I haven't had any. But, you know, the walk of shame. You know, let's talk about that. The walk of shame. I think it's terrible because I think a lot of single people get put in this box that if you're single, you're just out doing willy-nilly anything and everything. And that's not necessarily true. You could be single. You got your purple friend. Oh, I didn't get a friend. I want to get that black friend. You know the one I'm talking about. I want to get that black friend. But we're going to let that be a whole nother conversation. Maybe we talk about that at the end. We're going to rate some things because I saw some things. You guys know what I'm talking about. So let's say, for instance, like, Don't do the foul language on here. You got to be. So, yeah, so you have a friend. Watch the language. We don't want to offend anybody. Let's watch the language. So like, let's talk like, there's some items available, and there's some items that were made available because of, honestly, they can talk about, well, they keep the chat clean, so I guess how she can get away with doing all that different stuff. But let's talk about 30 Shades of, what is it? I think it's 30 Shades of Grey, the movie. Then it was like 30 Shades of Grey 2 or whatever they called it, 40 Shades. Anyway, they have like a whole line of products and things out there. And I thought it was very interesting that this movie, because that genre, that industry, and what people do has always existed, but I don't think it ever really spawned like a whole new line of products like that, like this movie did. And I'm not sure if it awakened something in people. And we talk about certain things, and I look at the 80s as being part of that awakening. I talk about the 80s being part of that awakening. And as a Black woman, we get judged for many things. As a Black woman, you are either like hat wearing, church going, I guess goody, nothing in between. Like, you can't have these two different sides to you. But I'm thinking, I'm kind of like this one comedian. He's like, Christians are sexy. If Christians aren't sexy, then how you end up with all these other little Christians running around? You know what I'm saying? So let's keep it real. Or you're the far extreme, twerking, wretched, savage. You can't be both sides. You can't be both sexy, smart, getting it in with your person. For us, we get put into these boxes. And I remember a friend posting up this meme or saying something about like, Black women and polygamy. And it was like, we're damned if we do, we're damned if we don't. So, it's kind of like part of why this conversation's on this platform and not on another platform, because it's like, we're damned if we do, we're damned if we don't. And I'm just kind of like, I kind of want to fight that. I want to fight that stereotype, and maybe that's why I kind of hold on to my independence. It's like, why can't I be both sexy, smart, fun, get it in, let's do a little twerk, business by day, freak by night, lady in the streets, hoe in the sheets. Y'all know the saying. The sayings. So why can't you just kind of have this just full well-roundedness as a person? It seems like it's more acceptable for others versus, people that look like me. Or, well, for the men, it's all right. It's like this, I don't know what to call it. I think it's this image that was started. We don't want to bring that into this conversation, but that was just started decades. Let's put it that way. Started decades ago, of the Black motherly figure and what that means and what it looks like. I'll never forget, when I was really active on the poetry scene. And I remember when, I want to say, I think it was Erykah Badu who had the video that came out, and she was walking naked. I want to say it was her. Correct me if I'm wrong. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, if it wasn't her. I want to say that's who it was. Yes. Okay. And I'll never forget the guys on the poetry scene just being like, no. And I'm like, what's wrong? She looks good. She's fine. What's wrong? I said, what's wrong? I said, if that was a different type of woman, they was like, she can't do that. And I was like, why can't she do that? What's wrong with her? What's wrong with her showing her body like that? And that's her music video. That's her art. That's her statement. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with it? I don't understand. Why can't she do that? Why do we have to just be this image? You can't be that all the time. You got to be able to let loose. And that's the thing, I think, because my last relationship was like this. I didn't feel like I could let loose with that person. And I think that has to do a lot of with some women staying single. And there's a lady I want to have on. She does like this Christian women's channel on YouTube. And I like a lot of things that they were saying. She was, kind of saying not the same things I'm saying, but she was saying just like, she loves her independence. And she doesn't think that she should be hindered or judged by her independence. Yes, that's another thing. Body image. So like when Lizzo, she hasn't lived in Detroit for some while, but Lizzo is from Michigan, and I love Lizzo's independence. I love her trying to portray all bodies as beautiful, gorgeous, sexy. And that's what she's about. I don't think she's doing these things just for attention. And that's what the talk was. Oh, she's just doing this just for attention. So what's the women in Playboy and them doing it for? And all these other things they doing it for? She getting paid too. Oh, who's using spamming? I don't think anybody's spamming. But I think that's my little thing. I'm going to have to update my settings because I don't think no one's spamming, first of all. But she's judged heavily based on her size. Yeah, and that's another thing. But so is Lady. But they never talked about her body. That's the one thing. You are right about that. They never talked about Lady Gaga's body. Not like Lizzo's. A lot of people are saying now all of a sudden it's too much. But when other people do these extreme performances, how come they're not considered too much? So I look at the black woman. The black woman is considered the least likely to marry. Even I think some of those numbers have evened out because people don't want to work so hard on their own. You see a lot of young couples getting married. She gets a pass too, but it's a little different. But she's different because when her body changed, she really loved it too. And to me, I think she's even had some extra enhancements just so she could have that full figuredness. So for her, that's like womanhood. That's a rite of passage. She, that was just something like they couldn't wait to do. And she embraces it. Because I was looking at them hips and the way the waist was shaped and the way everything else was shaped. I was like, I think, don't come after me, B Squad. But, it's lovely either way because it's being fully embraced. And people have talked about her a little bit too, like, oh, that's a big girl, that's a this, that, and the other. But it's a different. We get judged based on our bodies, and it has to do with policing. So if you're single and black, you got to be something other than just being single and black. Either you can't get a man, you can't keep a man, you're mean, you're rude, you don't know what you're doing. It can't be any of those. Why can't you just be enjoying your time, getting to know yourself, waiting for the right person to come along? See, that's another thing is people don't think about this. It has to be the right person. That's what I'm waiting for. I need a person that realizes my situation, that I'm not always available, and that I have other things to do besides you. If you can handle that. And let me tell you, not every man can handle that. I have it to where a lot of men, they want you to focus on them. I've seen it. I've had friends in relationships to where all of a sudden they can't go out anymore, especially with me because I'm single. How come she always out? How come she doesn't have a man? How come this? And I was looking like, y'all be discussing me like that? I mean, I haven't been friends with this person for a minute. I still consider them a friend. But again, they're in a different type of place. Even though they're not married, they respect that relationship. And I give them credit for that. But when you can't go out with your friends for like 2 hours, that's a problem to me. If you can't trust me to go outside the house with my friends for just 2 hours, come on. And I literally mean don't go. They don't go anywhere, nowhere. And that's not me. I'm not the type that's gonna sit under you all day. I can't do that. I would lose my mind if I had to sit under somebody all day, or if I could only go from work to home or to the store and home. And let me tell you, there's another. Oh, let's talk about the clingy, where the clingy relationship. I didn't even get into the clingy relationship. I think I got time. We can talk about this in 10 minutes because I think I said I'll go an hour and 15. But so we're gonna talk about the clingy relationship. Okay, how about the couples who work together? When I say work together, they drive to work together. They take lunch break together. And so that means, yes, they work at the same place. They leave together, of course, because they came in the same car. So you know what's going on at home, right? That woman gets driven to the hair salon and picked up. That woman gets driven to the nail salon and picked up. That woman's phone most likely gets checked. As a matter of fact, I'll never forget, the man made a point. They know that this is we're together. How do you know she wanted people to know that? Yeah, they going strong. I say, hey, I'm not dissing it, but come on. There's got to be some alone time sometimes. Sometimes. And someone, but don't get it wrong, because there's some women that like that. They love that attention. They think that it's caring. It's, to some of it looks controlling. But to some women, that looks like, oh, he loves me. He's taking care of me. He's making sure I get to where I need to be. They look at that as protection. But to me, I got to think of also the mentality of the woman who needs that. To where someone, that's almost like, because that man almost becomes like their daddy. That's what I see. Because with the one that I'm talking about, he tells her everything, and then sometimes the way he speaks to her, I was like, no, she a grown up. That person can vote. I'm quite sure she knows. So that's what I'm talking about. Because to me, being an educated woman, that would be demeaning. So it takes a certain type of person. See, when you're looking for the right person, it's also a mindset thing. So my mindset is totally different. So that's not going to work. So I have guys look at me weird because something like that does not work for me. I'm too independent, I don't want to say headstrong. I definitely don't want to say that. But, you know, I gotta have some me time. I want to be able to like rest my back up against you when I need to, but I also need you to be able to trust me to go ahead and take care of my business without you times two. You have to know that, you know, you're dealing with a grown person, and maybe that's the difference. So this is a young couple; it's younger, and I think if a person's able to know and realize that they're dealing with a grown person, yes, all that can work out. You can drive me to the hair salon, pick me up, be my protector, be my provider. The only thing is, like I said, these people work; they both have jobs, but they got a plan. Rock. So I find relationships like that very interesting because I look at it, because I've even seen it. My dad says, I mean, that's what he likes. That woman don't go nowhere. If she goes to her daughter's house, back to my dad's house, she goes maybe down south to see her mama, to take care of her if she needs to, because they got some sick people. And then she goes to get a hair salon, grocery store, back home. And that's good. They're very happy. She's taken care of. But that's the key. That's the key. Are you going to take care of that person? See, some people want all that, and they want all that loyalty and all that control, but they expect, and that's one of the things that happened to me, they expect you to do everything and then some. And I'm like this, if I'm going to play the role, no, I need to be able to let go. I need to be able to focus only on my little tasks, my roles, which is if it's rearing the kids, that's all I want to focus on. And you're going to be the protector. You're going to be the one that goes outside the house. Oh, yes. I almost forgot this post. Let me get the quote right. Let me see if I can find it. I don't think I shared it. So this isn't something I would share on my page. Oh, yes. I think I know it. Now, this person is of a certain faith. So, this person is of a certain faith. So, they had a sign, and this woman looked tired, and she was pointing to this sign that said, if a man has a woman, he should not cook his own food or wash his own clothes, period. Which means if he has a woman, and to me, that when he says woman, like a wife, so I don't even see myself as a girlfriend doing cooking like all your meals, all your clothes. Like if you're she queen gonna say it's lies. That's what I said, lies too. I'm like, do I work? Now let's break it down. Now, if I'm a woman who works just like you, spend about much of the time outside the house, I chip in on the bills just like you, I'm going to expect you to chip in on the household chores and duties too. See, that's what another issue was. So if we're both working and we're both doing those things, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Don't worry about that little function. I have to change my settings so that people can chime in as much as they want. So, yes, I say 50-50. Now, if the situation is this, and remember, we're talking about roles. Now, if you're going to be the man working outside the home and I am to stay inside the home, then I can give you some slack on some things. But I may want a weekend. I got to negotiate. That's my problem. That's my problem. I have to negotiate. I may need a weekend. Maybe you can take the kids so I can have some alone time, some me time, because that's stressful. Man, all of us during this time period got the opportunity to know what it was like to be our great, 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 great grandparents, where the woman stayed at the house and did everything. And during that time period, it was women who took on the extra of during the lockdown period. And we're still kind of in lockdown as far as I'm concerned, because what the numbers are going up. People are still having to wear masks. We're still in lockdown. Women took on the brunt of it. And I had friends who were still working. And I'm like, why isn't the man helping out too? The women took on all the heat, took on everything, took on the virtual schooling, and I know that's the way it went for me. That's the way it went for a lot of women. I see comments in my women group chats where, hey, I quit my job so I can stay home and do this because of my kid's school is virtual. Not the man. We always take the step back. We always are the ones. Men can say a lot of things about us. We are literally the backbones. We are some everything. Okay? And I was doing that single. And let me tell you, that is stressful. That woman who was holding that sign, I'm not sure if her man made her hold that sign saying if a man has a woman, he should not cook or wash his own clothes. Hey, what's up? Hello, hot otter. Nothing popping. We talking relationships. So, are you single in a relationship? Chime in. So, that woman looked tired as all get out. No telling how many kids that she has. I dislike otters. Single. All right. So, were you single during lockdown? So, if you were single during lockdown, post about it. So, anyway, we were talking about that. So, I only have a few more minutes, but we're going to get this in. I guess he is. Benivo was like, I dislike otters. For what? Otters are usually cute. Anyway, that's what we was getting at. We were also chiming about some other things like same-sex relationships, poly relationships. Do they work? Do they don't work? For me, I think poly is very difficult. You have to follow the rules of many things. So that's what we've been talking about. We've been talking about relationships, how Black women are kind of put in this box. Oh, okay, cool. How we're kind of like put in this box of, where we can't kind of be like all things. We either are like this overly nurturing mother type that you gotta be. So for instance, I had a friend who posted about Black women in poly, how they're heavily criticized for having poly relationships or looked down upon or whatnot. And I'm like, for what? I've seen, and maybe all of these have been looked down upon, but for some reason, I think we get a little extra heat, we get a little extra attention when it comes to certain things because the image that's been kind of made for us decades ago. Either we're Mother Teresa or the hoe in the streets. And not, instead of being able to be all in both, it's like we have to do things different. And I don't think so. I think we can still be sexy, smart, get it in, do all those things. They got me cracking up because they still talking about otters. I'm rolling. But anyway, follow. We're going to chime in on some more things. Otters are cute. Queen, you still there? You think otters are cute? Because I definitely think otters are cute because they be all like cuddly and, if you ever see that. Who says they don't behave? I've never seen an otter misbehave. They usually always stick it to their business. I've never seen that. I want you to find and post about an otter misbehaving. You got to train it to misbehave. I think that is right. So what else can we talk about? I guess because I don't know if I should bring this topic back up because Streamlabs little thing, just be careful of how you post what you post. So We brought up toys. Now, oh wait, actually, I forgot a topic. Before we get into that, I forgot one. Oh, okay. So, for instance, okay, I just thought about this. Now I totally forgot about it again. I got on the toys, and I forgot about it. Oh yes. Okay, so fantasies. People sharing fantasy. You know what kind of toys? Don't even play with me, Otter. Fantasies. I forgot that I brought this up earlier in the quick video, the quickie. So people having fantasies. Now, you would think if you're in a relationship with somebody, you should be able to share fantasies. But I remember having conversations with, some people and friends. I'm not nasty. You should be able to share your fantasies. If you can't do that, again, mindset and wrong person. And so this person shared a fantasy, and that person was then looked at as like cheating. And I said, "How? You didn't do nothing. You should be able to share fantasies, and they should want to even partake with you in the fantasy. There should not be anything wrong with that. Nada. Nada." And it's all mindset and relationships. You got to keep things going, keep it working. And so I don't think that is a bad thing. I don't. So whenever I found like where couples on the verge of breaking up because somebody shared a dream of somebody that they had. Oh, no. I don't know nothing about that. I have heard, you know what? Thank you for bringing that up, Otter. I didn't even think about this. Y'all know people have relationships with like actual buildings and objects, right? I actually saw this on a talk show. I forgot about it. I didn't think this was actually a real thing. I thought it was all fake. But yes, this woman married the statue. No, she married the Eiffel Tower, and it's real. Like she had a whole like ceremony. She had a ceremony. No, furries. Those people who dress up in the furries. Yes, I've heard. Yeah, you know about the furry people. So anyway, she had a ceremony and everything, and married. I don't know how you can marry something that's in public. Like it's a public. You can't even take it home. I don't even understand. I'm not even getting into what she was talking about, what she thinks about of it. I'm not getting into that part. But yeah, she married the Eiffel Tower, and then she fell in love. Like she fell in love with a bridge, and she would go visit the bridge and walk across the bridge. UPM, the reason there will be really some freaks among us, fam. For real, don't you invite the people? But no, that makes interesting conversation. She invite them to the table. Hey, I believe in all voices to the table. No holdbacks, okay? All voices to the table. So yes, but the furries, yes, that too. The people who dress up in the little outfits and stuff like that. Do you think they get down like the animal get down, or is it like regular? I wonder, because if you're taking on the animal persona, wouldn't that wouldn't that mean you be taking on that animal in the full persona? Oh, be careful. Yes, with an abstract. So yeah, she married like is an object, and I watched this whole thing. I'll let y'all have that conversation. But yeah, that's a real thing, y'all. The furries, objects, like people falling in love with hammers and things. We not going there. But yes. Y'all get banned. Nobody's gonna get banned. But anyway, follow the channel. We're gonna be having conversations like this as well as other conversations. Doing little reads, but I'm gonna actually find some romance novels to read. This one's interesting. We're gonna still read about Daphne, so I want to see where Daphne goes. Okay, but we're gonna be doing again some romance novels when we doing our relationship talks and everything. And don't forget, let me know, because for me, late night chat is also happy hour. So I got my Chablis here. So no, you gotta read it because I read it. We already did the little read. So if you want to find out, I can start off where we left off with Daphne. But no, I'm going to download some romance novels when we're doing our relationship talks, so we can read those. Don't ask me. I lost it. Yeah, but we're going to do that. Here she go. Let's open up Daphne. So at 5:30, when everyone below stopped working, her body and brain were so woozy she considered skipping dinner and going straight to bed. Maybe she'd sleep in the car at the construction site. It was real, this work. Guts and grit. The naysayer who sent her to the echo cast a sidelong look, booting the empty pallet. Most of us carry 2 bundles of roofing at once. Not all day. Most of us, a man walking past with a coil of nails said. Most companies use power ladders, snapped another guy, unbuckling his tool belt. More than enough, Bob said, and they all shut up. He turned to Daphne. Can you be here at 6, load another roof? The other men laughed and hooted about the power loader not being available to carry shingles onto the roof mechanically. Grunt work had to be done by hand. This time, and no one wanted the short straw. Bob raised a palm, the jeer stopped, and he asked again. 6 a.m. Daphne nodded. Don't forget your lunch. That night, she cleaned her plate and was in bed by 7:30. Her mother hugged her, but they didn't talk. If her mother cried that night for her long-dead daughter, or her looming first week as a widow, Daphne didn't hear the weeping. Daphne didn't imagine echoes of her father's old mantra about Suzanne. Someone saw something. Who's Suzanne? Oh, shit. They might get into some nitty gritty. When she went upstairs, she didn't think about how hollow the house felt, how he would never come home. She didn't think of questions and answers and comfort never to be given or received. The last she heard were faint sounds of her mother going outside to smoke, then plunking on the living room sofa. She didn't look across her bedroom at Suzanne's empty bed or at the window beyond and think, oh, that's a sister. I was hoping it was something else. Okay, so yeah, we read into it because I couldn't find a romance novel in there and I was having technical difficulties. So I just pulled this one up. It's called, what's this book called again? Orchids and Stones. Orchids and Stones. Okay, everybody. So what else? What else? So we had the, you don't like otters. We already got in. Oh, so we talked about that one aspect. So let's talk about, yeah, I know, orchids and stones. That's what I said too. I thought it was about something else. Orchids and stones. I'm not going to even lie. You know I did. I was like, ooh, orchids and stones. Let's see what it's about. And then I was like, she working in construction? Let's see where it go though. I'm not gonna even, I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was a straight romance novel. And then I was like, construction? Well, it's there, but you know what? The parts where they was describing the men in construction, that was sexy. Most people stayed to hear it. That was real sexy. I know y'all probably don't want to hear the men being described doing the construction work, but that sounded sexy when we was reading it. They was like lifting the stuff. They was drilling the whole, that sounded sexy. So we gonna see where it go. I don't know what happened to Suzanne, her sister, but we gonna read a little bit here and there, and then we gonna talk about the other stuff. So the toys. Yeah. So some people have problems even with toys. Like I remember, okay, so I was, yeah. So anyway, I had a friend. And I thought it would be fun. So, I pulled out some toys. And he was just like, no. He was like, no, you don't bring in any extras when you already have one. So is that true, fellas? A lady can't bring in any extras if, one is already there. You already know what I'm talking about. So you don't need to put it in my chat. Don't get me banned from Twitch. Shoot, there's people on here doing all types of weird dances and cooking and booty shorts and I get kicked off for that. No. Yeah. So it is really, wow. So no. So you can't bring in like, oh, really? I think I have to, I'd have to wreck you on that one too, because it looked like somebody. You just didn't go out and get a doll. It looked like somebody. You might as well just brought in the real thing. I can see where someone would actually get you on that one, because I'd be like, what do you really want? Not me. But no, I heard that like that men don't like any extras around. They like just theirs only. And yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just a little spice, He said, "Oh, you go by yourself." So that is a real thing, man. So there's no real guys like Mr. Gray, huh? There aren't any real guys out there like Mr. Gray. I'm sure there's probably some out there. I'm sure. No. I'm sure there's some guys out there like Mr. Gray. So we listen to the music. We got our late night chat going on. Yes. Who's Mr. Gray? You don't know what was it called? 50 Shades of Grey. I said it wrong earlier. Someone should have called me on it. People don't even think about that anymore. 50 Shades of Grey. Remember Mr. Gray or 50 Shades? Then it was like what, 50 Shades Darker? It was 50 Shades of Grey, and then it was like 50 Shades Darker because he was like his darker side. No, Grey. You didn't watch it, so that really was not a guy movie. Max, I tried to see at the time I was seeing a guy, and I tried to get him to take me to see this movie. If you had a lady that wanted to go see 50 Shades or 50 Shades Darker, would you not take her? Would you not never read or watched it? Wow. That is real. He was like, no. That was like a turn off. He was like, no, we're not going to see that movie because you go see that by yourself. And I was like, you wouldn't come with me? Come on, I am your woman, and I'm asking you to come see this movie with me. And you're going to say no? He said, you go buy, he said, go buy your own porn. I was like, what? I was like, so that was going to be a relationship in, let me see, that was a fail. That was a fail. You probably wouldn't? Wow, that's a real guy thing. You wouldn't take your lady? You guys don't even know what you would be opening up yourselves to. Oh, wow. That's true. I do like to do things by myself. So I do believe in that. I do believe in having a little independence. But I was saying that was like a couple moment. Come on. That's a couple moment. So y'all just say, hey, you go watch it and then bring home the ideas possibly, and then we'll discuss it. That kind of kills it. That kills the mood. Nah, that kills the mood, y'all. That kills it right there. I'm sorry. That absolutely kills it right there. So we got a few more minutes left. So we're not going to do that. So what's playing? What's playing on the, my list is finally sounding right. Who is this? Hey. Oh, yes. Sending all these messages alone at night. We've all been there. Don't act like you ain't never sent no late night messages. Play these games. That's true. No forcing. It's got to be equal and mutual. No, you can't do it that way. Can't. So that's why I said I didn't force them. You know, I eventually, did I see the actual, I think I saw 50 Shades. I see 50 Shades Darker. I think I did see it. And it was like, okay, that's interesting. I could see where some women were even upset at the movie because they felt like she was like basically being held prisoner, or like he was basically stalking her at one point. But that was a conversation that me and my friend Queen had earlier about, some women, they like that. To them, that means protection. That means the sequel is it. Yeah, that was a bit much for me, but it was all right. You know, it still made money, but the first one was good enough. But some women like that. They like that fawning over, or that might be a little extra, but they like that fawning over. Like, we was talking about, like, how some couples where the man drives the woman everywhere. So to me, that means you're a little insecure. If you got to drive your woman everywhere, you can't trust her to like go to the nail salon or the hair salon. To me, that's almost like having a childlike person, but hey, what works, works. And I know I've known couples who've lived very happily that way. God bless them. I'm driving myself where I need to go. And then if we out on a date, or if it's date night, or if it's, whatever it is, then we're going together. But, there's some women that like that. They like that where the guy calls a whole bunch of times, where the guy is like constantly wanting to be there. All of a sudden, that's good because I like to drive. Because it just doesn't, I don't know, it just, to me, but it works. It works for them. They like that. They like that fawning, almost stalkerish type of thing. And there's some guys out there that like that mess too. And again, that was a fail for me. You tend to drive. That was a fail for me because I don't stalk. I had a guy that basically, we had just started talking, and I told him I had to call back because I was working. I couldn't really speak. So I was in public and I was working. I was doing some things. And so he was like, so I said, let me call you back. And I called him literally back like in the 10 minutes. I said, I'll call you back in like 10 minutes. And I called him back in 10 minutes. And we were talking, saying everything's going to be cool. And he just said, you know what? It's all right if you got a man. It's all right if you got a man. I understand if you're not single. And I was like, nah, baby, we was just having a conversation. I'm working. Deal breaker. I think, do I do deal breakers too quick? It sounds like it, don't it? Yeah, I think I do deal breakers a little too quick. That was a deal breaker for me. You ain't about to yell at me, and I'm working. I was like, nigga, I just called you back. I said 10 minutes, and I called you back in 10 minutes. Yeah, that was a red flag for me because he just went off and started yelling at me. You got a man? You got a man? Ooh. We never had any conversations after that. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go back to work. You have a good day. And that was the end of that. Yeah, that he was a crazy. He was a crazy for sure. So that's why I was like, yeah, I think I do deal breakers too fast. Maybe I should slow up on it. But to me, when I get that gut feeling that it's not going to work, I'm just like, oh, well, we can be friends or, whatnot. So for me, that was a deal breaker. It was a deal breaker. Anyway, thank you for joining me tonight. We're not going to go over and over. What does it say? Problems from the beginning is a deal breaker. That's when you're showing your best side. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I don't like to prolong either. I just keep it real. If you keep it real, you will get what you want. Most guys, let me tell you, most guys' problem is they just don't say what they want. You may have to say it over and over to different people. But if you just be honest and say what you want and don't waste nobody's time, you'll most likely get it. I'm just going to be honest. I'm just like, why didn't they just say ... from the beginning? Just being real about it. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the channel. Follow. I will see you all tomorrow. I don't know. No, it's best to know. Sometimes you know what you don't know, but you know that you